Hello, it is Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Wednesday puzzle today, so midweek, mid-difficulty, hopefully not on the tougher end of midweek difficulty, because I thought I was all prepared for this recording in good time today, and then I had some computer issues, and now I'm running late again. So hopefully this is not too taxing a puzzle. It is a new month, so first let's thank some patrons. So thank you so much to benefactors Mitchell Turek, Jenny Montague, Lewis Williams, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark and the indomitable Showmaster for bringing us this edition of the Daily Solve with their generous support. It does sustain this channel, and if you'd like to join their ranks as a benefactor and get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, you can find that at patreon.com/dailysolve or in a link in the description field underneath the video, where, of course, you can also become a patron at any level you choose and get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, and that includes the most recent acrostic puzzle from the backlog, which I solved yesterday and which will be posted very possibly by the time you see this video. It should be up. It was the last acrostic puzzle from 2022, so it was a mid-December acrostic, and I enjoyed it a great deal. I had a bit of a slow start, was worried I was permanently stuck, and then was able to move on by inferring some things about the quotation in the acrostic, if you know what that means, if you've seen acrostic puzzles be solved before. But in any case, I really enjoyed it. So check that out if you have access to the Patreon campaign. And otherwise, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not done that yet. And there's also the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link to that as well, and you can join that nice, friendly chat community. All right, so all that said, is there anything else to do? No, I don't think so. Let's get on with the solve. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. Okay. So this is a Wednesday puzzle constructed by Dan Caprera, who's constructed just a small handful of puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving. And we have, it almost looks like sort of T-shapes or maybe some sort of balanced slab kind of gray cells on circled cells. So we wonder what that will mean, but who knows? All right, let's start solving. Contents of some college party shots. Jello shots? Maybe my first thought was vodka, but Jello shots seems more specific to a college party. That's the sort of thing that probably is encountered with decreasing frequency as one ages. Airport alternative to Newark Liberty. It could be JFK. Those are both New York area airports, JFK being in New York and Newark, of course, being in Newark, New Jersey. Building wing could be an L, so why is it called that? I think because they're often actually shaped like L's. Building extension, building wing. Strong cleaner is lye, so highly basic substance as opposed to acidic. Sass, you give someone sass, you give them lip. You're, being a bit, pert with them, I guess, maybe. If you're not flummoxed by something, you're onto it. This looks like flying, doesn't it? Science fiction vessel. Oh, flying saucer? Right. Okay, so don't know what the shaded cells there mean just yet. We'll keep solving. 2018 John Travolta flop. Oh, is this 2018? I don't know. My first thought was that film Geely, but that's much older than 2018, and I don't think it has anything to do with John Travolta. It was just a 5-letter film that was a flop that started with G. A 5-letter film flop, if you will. This looks like kleptocratic, so like a government left by thieving politicians. So kleptocratic, so regimes that are essentially completely subject to theft by their by their elites. All right, longest river entirely in Switzerland. Is it the R? Not sure. Let's check the crosses. Reclining hero pose for one. Is that a yoga pose? I've never heard of the reclining hero, but it sounds like it might be. Anyway, that would be an asana, a yoga pose, a yoga asana. Let's check the downs there. Most urbane. Suavist. If you're sort of urbane, you have a kind of, refined charm. When time was, sorry, I need to clear my throat. Hold on. Okay, I don't know if that's completely better, but hopefully a little bit. All right, when Time Warp is sung in the musical The Rocky Horror Show, well, it's obviously act 1 or 5, I suppose. Probably 1, so that... Yes, Diesel found in Street Racers would be the actor Vin Diesel, who's in the Fast and Furious films about street racing. And German veto would be 9, which is no in German. Platte River people. Oto is a tribe, but let's check the crosses because I'm not 100% certain about that. Oh, Gotti. He was in a film about John Gotti. That's right. I sort of vaguely remember that. I didn't see it, I guess. It was a flop, so not surprising if one didn't see it. But yes, that rings a bell. Cutely could be... Sorry, John Gotti, the American mob boss, or however you describe him. Cutely, what does that mean? Trash hauler, moo. Okay, a scow. So a scow is a, you ship waste. You could ship waste on one. And there's a cow in it, which is the moo. And what does that have to do with this, if anything? Trash hauler, moo, scow, cow. There must be some reason for the shaded cells, but I don't yet understand. We'll keep going. Cutely is twee, I see. Something is twee, it's sort of cute in a way that's too much, almost. World War II war zone in brief. I'm not sure. Some footwear fasteners. Not sure about that either. Have we looked at these acrosses? I don't think we have, no. Film special effects, CGI, computer-generated imagery, I guess. Crib notes, to copy... If you crib someone's note, or crib notes, I guess, are also sort of... how would you put it? They're kind of... Isn't that a phrase, crib notes? They're synopses or things of... I don't really know what defines that. Gaggle components, a gaggle of geese, that's a collective term for a group of geese. Cross, irate, you're angry? Yeah. She, her pronouns, that's straightforward. And comic strip cry, yay or yeah? Don't know why that would be comic strip particularly. I'm not sure about that little corner. Costco unit. Oh, that's funny. Costco was in the puzzle yesterday. Big sort of wholesale club retailer. Costco unit price? Cost? I don't know why. That's obviously not the answer. Much too similar to the clue. Held in suspense. Something seems wrong here. Is irate incorrect? It really seems... It seems like it would be right. Geese must be correct. Let's keep looking around. Peak, whose name means the high one. Denali? Just guessing based on the I there and the number of letters. And that it's a mountain, obviously. Yes, loud unpleasant noises could be dins, a real din, a loud unpleasant noise. Update as a site layout to rejig. Doesn't really seem sufficient. Ingredient in a hurricane. Rum, that's a tiki drink. I'm pretty sure. I couldn't tell you what else is in it. I'm sure I've had one, but without shame, unabashedly. That looks plausible. And 1976, Hit by Heart with Help inside of it. Okay, I know Barracuda, which is the Heart song everybody knows. What else? I'm not sure. So the Help will be inside of here. Maybe it's SOS or something. Does that? I don't really see. Yeah, I don't see anything. I mean, it may be the answer, but I'm just not. I'm not sure what the song is. Fly Off the Handle is Let Fly, or no, Fly's in the clue. Adult stage in insects. I am not sure. Science fiction. Oh, interesting. Are these all going to be science fiction vessels? Yes, they are. So this will. Oh, this is probably spaceship. No, spacecraft. There we go. Spacecraft, presumably. And then, what would this one be? A space station, or what? I'm not going to reuse the word space. Probably. What would it be? Not sure, but let's try and use this. So update as a site layout. Remap. Oh, right, layout map. And Fig Newton's manufacturer, Nabisco, which I think is contracted from the National Biscuit Company, which I think is an incredible. I really enjoy that. Okay, so fly off the handle is to lose it, right? Yes, she lost it. She flew off the handle. So adult stage in insects. I don't think I recognize this. That's sort of surprising. It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything to me. What is this? Hit by Heart. Magic something? Oh, I just don't know. Some cheerful folks. I'm not sure about that either. Half of D. This is the Roman numeral for 500, so half of that would be 250 CCL. I think that would be right. Seconds or thirds. More food, I guess, in a general sense. Some cheerful folk. Well, who are the cheerful folks? So, smilers. Right, okay. This is the kind of clue that often I think would be clued some cheerful folks common say. It's an example of that thing. You know, being cheerful and smiling might not necessarily strictly coincide, but I suppose they're close enough that they didn't feel they needed the qualifier. One of 7 in the Constitution, so an article, one article of 7 that comprised the U.S. Constitution. Tallahassee School is something State University, presumably. Florida State University. And part of an IV or an old TV, a tube. So an intravenous drip or an old television set. So cathode ray tubes would make up an old TV set, or would be part of it. Result of a leaky pen, perhaps a blot of ink on the paper. And on the lamb is you're fleeing, fleeing justice. Feature on either brother of Smith Brothers cough drops. Don't think I'm not familiar with Smith Brothers cough drops. I do not know. What might they both have? An article of clothing, maybe, or I'm not sure. Okay, World War II war zone, right? Saw that, wasn't sure. Some footwear fasteners, don't know. Let's keep looking down here. Primeval, ancient, maybe. I think of primeval as being older than ancient, but they certainly have overlapping meanings. Well, that escalated quickly, you might say. And Stimpy's chum of Toondom would be Ren, the cartoon, 1990s cartoon Ren and Stimpy. Place for a drink while traveling, honk. Oh, so these are all animals? Because flying saucers are said to have, I see, to kind of have, hoovered up cows. Oh, that's funny. So spacecraft and a man, maybe? Magic Man? Is that a heart song? Is that I feel like I'm slightly going out on a limb there. I'll put that in, and maybe we'll see what happens with those acrosses. But I was looking at this over here as well. Oh, a mothership is a science fiction vessel. Well, it's not going to be cow again. Oh, right, honk. It says honk. A car. A mothership picks up a car, I suppose. I can't. That image isn't immediately obvious to me. But maybe in, I don't know, Independence Day or something. Maybe a mothership picked up a car. I don't remember. Oh, what a funny puzzle! What an incredibly specific, weird puzzle. Okay, fair enough. Some footwear fasteners. Oh, straps of some sort. T-straps on a sandal, for instance. World War II war zone and brief. European theater of operations. Right. Okay. There we go. And place for a drink while traveling. Oh, the bar car of a train. Right. Okay. Held in suspense. Something. Cross. Irked. Oh, it wasn't irate, and irate is a bit too strong for cross. If you're cross, you're upset. I mean, you could be angry, but you're sort of upset. You're irritated more than furious, which is what irate is. That makes much more sense. So the comic strip cry is eek. Sorry about that earlier. Costco unit. Yeah, I'm still not sure. Held in suspense, and then chili peppers or bell peppers, scientifically capsicum. Right. And it's just the singular, because I do always mention this, but I do think it's something that isn't necessarily intuitive to everybody. But chili pepper or bell pepper, scientifically, we're only referring to one of these. So you're not looking for a plural noun here. You're looking for a singular noun, because we're only referring to one or the other. So a single capsicum, which is, in some places, like Australia and to a lesser extent, the UK, people actually would use that to describe the pepper itself, whereas in the United States, that's strictly scientific language. Held, by people, I meant sort of ordinary people as opposed to scientists. Held in suspense. I'm not sure. Costco unit. Oh, a case, right. It's most items sold at Costco are sold in bulk, so you might buy a case of them. Oh, a cheat sheet, or cheat sheets in this case, so crib notes. Okay, right. So that is sort of right. That is a better description of crib notes. It's kind of a summarized bit of notes. It's not kind of notes you've taken in a notebook in real time. That's kind of a summarized reference material. East Coast Amtrak service with the fastest trains in the Americas, Acela. They often don't go really all that much faster than regular Amtrak trains. But this is sort of the one arguable high-speed rail network in North America, I guess. It's the sort of northeast seaboard, densely populated area from Boston to Washington, D.C., and with New York in between. Okay, groups organizing book sales or bake sales, maybe. PTAs, parent-teacher associations. And quiet spot to moor a boat. Could be an inlet, maybe. Here we have Denver winter hours. We've had quite a few of these winter hour clues recently. So here's Mountain Standard Time, I think, would be Denver. And heavy-handed swords could be brutes. Feature on either brother. Oh, right, this again. A beard. Oh, right, they must both be bearded. The Smith brothers, cough drop proprietors, I guess. Okay, oh, right, and here's our revealer. So science fiction energy rays that might suck up earthly bodies, as depicted 3 times in this puzzle. What a funny puzzle. Tractor beams. There we go. It's just one of those silly themes where I guess Dan Caprera had an idea and just figured, I'm going to do this. It doesn't really, it's not sort of about language in any particular way or anything like that. It's just a funny image that has been pretty rigorously crafted throughout the grid. But in any case, Blank Allen, host of Chopped on the Food Network. No idea, no familiarity with this. Is it Tim Allen, the sort of sitcom star from the 90s? I don't know. Trusty companion for a night. A steed? Oh, maybe it's not. Ted Allen, maybe. Atlanta-based network, TBS, the Turner Broadcasting System, I want to say. And Jai Sai or Kai Sai e.g. informally would be a frat or fraternity. And we had a sorority, I think, in the puzzle yesterday or the day before. Okay, organization in the X-Files. So the employer of the two protagonists of the X-Files is the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And it's bound to be eaten by livestock. It could be a bale of hay. Oh, and it's right, that's clever. It's bound to be eaten because we're saying it will inevitably be eaten, but also it's bound up. It's bound up bales of hay. Performer who might step on some toes. A ballet dancer would take steps on the tips of his or her toes. Major corporate hirees are MBAs, Masters of Business Administration, and Tolkien's Leaflock for one. I don't recognize the name, but must be an Ent, one of the tree creatures. One of a pair of bullets in poker, an ace. I'm not familiar with that terminology either, but it sounds like what it must be because it's a single ace. It's sort of a, like a single bullet, I suppose. Pokemon with a cat-like appearance. Mew, cat sound. And one section of a high school yearbook is seniors. SR being the abbreviation for senior. And then gumbos are stews, okay, sort of Cajun cuisine. Okay, great. So let's finish this off. Instrument with a pedal, a hi-hat, is that sort of two-cymbal instrument used in a drum set, and when you depress the pedal, it brings the two cymbals, which are kind of, one's inverted over the other, so they come together and meet and kind of close, and that's what that is. Site of a terrible fall. Terrible fall, does it mean fall the season? Is that why we have the pun indicator, the question mark? Not sure. Lends a hand. If you lend a hand, you help, so helps. Oh, Eden. Oh, right, okay. The fall of man. Right? So the pun was around the word fall, but it was fall in the sense of kind of metaphorical, kind of moral failing, I suppose, as opposed to literally falling over. A rare case where, not unheard of, but it's less common for the pun to result in the word being used less literally. Okay, helmed is led, as in a team or a company. Chum is a pal. I think pal was in the crossword just this week as well. And if you did something on the sly, you did it covertly. And then finally, unbeatable is ideal. It can't be bettered. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I finished in a reasonable amount of time. I think I should be okay. So let's go over our very funny tractor beams clue. What a ridiculous puzzle. No problem with it whatsoever. It's just a very funny thing. It's just such an arbitrary creation. But again, at this point, given themes are encouraged to not repeat past themes to the extent that that's possible, sure, why not something like this? Why not? It's very funny, and it was executed perfectly well. So we had science fiction energy rays that might suck up earthly bodies, as depicted 3 times in this puzzle. And indeed, we have our flying saucer, which is hoovering up the cow, which is part of the trash hauler. We had the mothership, which is hoovering up the car that was part of our place for a drink while traveling. And finally, we had the spacecraft hoovering up our man here, which was part of the 1976 hit By Heart. So there we go. A very funny, well-crafted, a very silly theme. So nice one from Dan Caprera. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday puzzle, where we might have probably not a wackier theme than this one, but maybe a trickier one in some fashion. I don't know. This was almost a Thursday-like theme, but we'll find out what's in store for us on Thursday. Please do join me for that. Until then, have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.